Well, Beef and Barnzy coming to you live from day 2 of Weber Cup 2020. A little different story today than yesterday. I'm a little less pleased than I was yesterday, although not terribly upset.
And we're going to have another update.
USA are doing very, very well. Europe are doing okay, but better than yesterday.
I thought we were quite good today.
Yeah, you were okay. But well done, Stu, because you did well.
Thanks.
Yeah, finally.
You
pulled
just
your
gotta,
finger out
you
your
got to
arse.
pick your opponent, though.
No, you pulled your finger out your arse.
Yeah.
So there was our Emily Fraser update.
Our daily cameo from Emily Fraser of Matchroom Multisport.
The boss here.
Nice.
Yeah, bit of a different day today. I think even in the games that you guys won, in a large extent, we kept you honest in most of the games. That was a big thing for us. We looked back on the scores yesterday, and because of how many more you scored than we did, it felt like you guys bowled incredible, which isn't to take away from it. But then when you look at the scores, as you looked at them, the scores were good. They just weren't like, it wasn't like a couple of years ago when you guys were just bowling 270 every game.
Right.
And so we made a really concerted effort that we were going to really just focus in on just trying to shoot 250s.
Right.
260s, trying to keep it close. And we did that for the majority of the day. Me and Dom, I can't really blame Dom in the slightest bit because we bowled 210 and he struck both his shots. Amusingly, that's not the worst thing I've ever done to Dom in a doubles match. Many moons ago, Dom was following a doubles match.
Yeah.
And he was bowling the doubles with me and then he was bowling singles after it. Dom got up the first frame and struck. In the 10th frame, I got up and asked Dom if he wanted me to throw it in the gutter so he could throw it 10.
I was there.
Because we play Scotch doubles, you see. So if you keep missing, the other guy doesn't get to throw a strike shot. So it didn't really help Dom to know what the lane was like going into the next match.
No. A little trickier lane than what they were today, for sure. And that's why I felt like our team has done fairly well as we bowl consistently good, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I did not bowl a particularly good game at you. I guess the open late skews it a little bit.
Yeah,
You had to throw the first strike to shut me out, and did so. And so, but I thought for the most part we've done a good job. We haven't won some of the roll-offs. Actually, lost the majority of them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
1 and 3,
but that's mainly because Jesper's been in it.
Yeah, and that does increase your chances of winning those when we've actually just bowled very good games to get him to a roll-off, and he just keeps striking, and at some point he just puts enough pressure on you to leave something that he wins.
I guess as a team, and being the leader of the team, if you knew that you were playing me once and Jesper once in the session, going 500 was probably like... That was kind of what you expected.
That was the realistic goal. Is basically if we can even out Jesper most sessions, you feel like you're in a pretty good shape. And the fact that it was me against those two, and I'm the weakest link. So, I would have said, great, we got 1 and 1. It wasn't particularly the order that I thought it was going to happen.
No.
I thought my better chance was probably you'd been struggling. I've been bowling okay.
Yeah.
We flipped for a game. You bowled pretty good. I got a little crossed up, and then we had a rerun, and I followed Kyle, and then I slayed the giant.
You bowled a really good game.
Our strategy worked out pretty good. I can't say that it's some mastermind thing, but it did work out to where I had a chance, and I didn't lose a lot of hits, and he lost a few. And
the thing is that's the deal. You bowled a really good game. Jesper bowled what he always bowls, and he had a couple more 7-pins this game than he did some of the other games. I don't think there was too much complaints one way or the other with that. Funny little story that you won't know about the day. I got a little tongue-tied when I went to the interview.
Yeah?
Yeah. So...
You?
Yeah. Well, the problem was...
It was just a day of first everywhere.
We were on Sky Sports.
Okay.
And I hadn't done an interview the whole time. And I kind of knew how to answer this question, but we were on Sky Sports. So I couldn't answer this question quite the way I wanted to.
Okay.
So they said to me, so is it difficult for you and Chris, being as you do this podcast together, when you go on there? Now, the obvious answer that I would give in this setting is, no, we're both assholes. We have no problem with that. But obviously, that's a difficult answer for me to give on Sky Sports. So here was how it ended up coming out.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Chris don't really have any problem being naughty with each other.
Oh, God.
Whoops. So I quickly backtracked as I almost burst out laughing. And then I kind of made it understood that I was saying that we had no problem putting our friendship to one side. But anyway, that's what happens when you go almost 2/3 of the Weather Cup without doing an interview.
I literally, I have
you
nothing.
Have nothing.
No. Our wives will be shocked to know that that's...
Hi, Tina.
Yeah.
Hi, Linda.
Great.
But anyway, so that was one of the fun times of the day. I didn't think that I could have sweat any more than I sweat on the lane when I was trying to pile out a 2:34, but I was sweating carbs at that point. So for Europe, I guess if I was going to go through the highlights of the day, I would say that the fans, the fan votes. You're doing a great job. Way better jobs than we're doing chatting around. I mean, I was actually saying that maybe we should consider getting the fans to select the whole session, because every match has been a huge shot for shot, like great quality game. I mean, Kyle and Jesper last night went right down to the last shot. Jesper came out, and then a 279, 278 thriller.
Right.
Simo and Kyle against Jesper and Osku. I mean, you can't get much better than that.
No. And I guess that's probably the positives that our side takes out of this today, is that it was 6-6 and we lost a couple of games where they really bowled good against Jesper, which has been the MVP of the tournament so far, and just came up just short in both of them.
Yeah, pretty much it seems like the MVP of the tournament is going to be decided by who's played Jesper least on your team.
And maybe so, because everybody has a loss against him except me, which is the ultimate irony of all of it.
Although I do feel like you almost need to be disqualified from MVP consideration, losing to me.
Yeah, it is just.
I mean, you took me down in doubles.
When you hit the game-winning home run in Game 7, that's nice, but the fact that you were 0 for 12 leading up to it sometimes doesn't. No.
Yeah, I mean, your team's
my record's been fine, but it's been pretty good. Simonson gets to bowl a bunch tomorrow. And we've set that up, and we're bowling the longest pattern, and so
I'm not. I think all of your teams bowled really well. I think Jasper's bowled really good on our team. I think that Osku's bowled some
very well today.
Really good spots. He's bowled games that were really great. I mean, Kyle gave him the business, and he got up and he answered the bell. He threw a great shot to shut that game out. Again, him and Jesper down the stretch tonight bowled a really good game. They've actually averaged 278.5 for their two doubles games.
Yeah,
I think that Thomas has really grown into the event. He bowled the first doubles with me, and I think it's gone under the radar that he managed to pull me to a 240.
I actually thought, other than Jesper, day one, he didn't bowl very much, but watching practice, and I thought he was bowling the best of everyone. But like we do a lot of times when you have rookies, you kind of leave them to be let them to work into the event a little bit, and then
I think we were really conscious about trying to get a fast start, and I think that by doing what we did, it didn't really help Jesper that greatly with the being on all three times on the same transition, and he didn't really appreciate that very well. So we've adjusted strategy a little bit, and I know that you're talking about you've got Simo and EJ bowling a lot tomorrow. I know that myself and Dom are going to be able to bowl, and we've just got to we've got to man up and find a solution. So our practice session tomorrow morning is probably going to be, we'll probably figure out the matches probably a little bit more, because with the way this works, there's some matches, like for example tonight, it had to be me against Chris. I don't think either Chris or Dom, through choice, would have probably put that match out first thing, but that was the way the rotation had come round. Just one quick thing, I will say that probably the main reason that I won that match was the ball return. It was definitely my best friend, because the ball return doesn't really affect me in the slightest, because my slide's so much shorter than yours.
Yeah.
But you had a couple of shots early on where, it seems to be when you catch it a certain way, especially when you're throwing a little slower, it always gets the ball to go left off your hand. So if you actually watch on the broadcast, you can see the ball return is really, it's a pretty tight window, and it's not that we're not used to that over time. It's just
it's a couple feet shorter than almost any ball return is, and I'd really rather have it to where you hit it every time. But it's just far enough up that I catch the back of my heel and it clips kind of goes.
It really kind of it's very noticeable.
And it's wide and it's short. And when the least rev rate on our team has issues with it, it's too far left. They're too far up there. But
well, I mean, it is what
it is.
The two people who are most affected by it, I think, are you and Kyle.
Probably.
Kyle shooting the 10 pin's an adventure. Now, to be fair to Kyle shooting the 10 pin is kind of an adventure sometimes. He's a whole lot better than he was 12 months ago. But now we've got old Kyle back a little bit because some of the ones where he hits it and he jumps, and even I think
he starts at 25, he only missed one.
But it's every time.
But it turned out to be the difference maker in that match.
Yes.
It was a 10-pin match, and he missed a spare.
And it would have been a tie. Right. Yeah, for sure.
And so it's just one of the things. There's always something in the event that there's things you have to adapt and overcome. And so
it's kind of the beauty of the event.
It's not a big deal. It just is. I bowled with a whole wall on flush, and so it's not really a valid excuse at all.
Back.
But
can I just ask, does anyone have a lighter I can borrow so I can start a fire for the shirts?
Why? Oh, because mine didn't have the logos in the right spot.
No, so we just might as well just get rid of them now.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I don't quite know what I did wrong this time. But
I don't know. But being trolled by
it's not really like we can fight back.
Boss. No, she's
so
there you go.
So I guess on that note, we might see you tomorrow.
16-9. I don't even know if we've said the score yet. Race to 23. Still a 7-point lead, but basically this is a 1-point contest after we got out to a 6-0 lead yesterday, and since then it's basically been a very back and forth, much closer than sometimes the score leads you to believe. And today we definitely had way more fight on both sides, and the matches, like you said, were a lot closer.
Especially
the wins were much closer. Our losses, we're making Jesper earn it, but he is earning it every time.
Yeah, so I mean that first session was fantastic. You had the 78-79. You had 2 roll-offs.
Yeah.
It almost can't get better than that. You won the roll-off with Dom and Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Dom unfortunately missed the spare in the 9th frame, which
gave us a chance, and then made it a tie, much like the Kyle.
And then Thomas got up and threw a good shot to force it. Then both players struck in the roll off,
right?
And then kind of in a 1-ball roll off. It doesn't really matter. To be honest, in this company, it almost doesn't matter if you don't strike. And Dom got 7, so. That was that.
Yeah, 7 or 8. I didn't know, but
to be honest,
our 2 guys weren't going to get.
Yeah, Simo
weren't going to get less than 9.
Needed a horrific break to get less than 10. So.
He was bowling pretty good at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he always bowls pretty good.
Yeah, he's kind of over the jet lag thing. We really held him back on day 1 because he was just seemed to be out of sorts compared to what we see out of him the rest of the time. Day 2. The plan was early for him to bowl more, and then as matches and the formats changed a little bit, we knew we had some longer patterns coming up, and so we moved him back, and then we moved him back again as another match got cut, which wasn't really the plan, but now he has 2 doubles matches and probably 2 singles matches that he can bowl inside of an 8 to 10 game, depending on what they leave for tomorrow. So
basically what happened was Europe got so far behind that it early on that we've tried to take a couple of matches out here and there to make sure that we get to a certain amount of sessions and whatever. And that's led to some strange situations, highlighted by the fact that EJ and Simonson didn't bowl at all, apart from the Baker.
Right, a very unusual
and that
situation.
Wasn't, like, actually...
No, but that wouldn't happen.
Until they erased that match, it was actually against the rules for that to happen.
Right.
Everybody had to bowl in the session was one of the kind of rules, but once we started moving matches around it just became a little messy. So that's completely on the European team. If we hadn't got to a 6-0 loss, we wouldn't have needed to do those things.
So I played twice tonight. We got me out of the way. Longer pattern coming tomorrow. Those 2 are going to play a lot. Bill has bowled a bunch. Kyle has bowled a ton, but he's been in all the fan matches as well. So that's part of why he's bowled so much. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just going to really be a lot of EJ and Simo, and you and Dom are going to be in a lot, and then Jesper whenever you can get him in.
Yeah, principally.
I think Thomas, has some matches coming up too. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but
yeah, I mean,
more strategy to follow. It'll be a longer session tomorrow, followed by an even longer session.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're doing with that morning session
with the evening session. So,
okay, well, we will do a wrap up tomorrow night. Yeah, if it ends up being that we go deep late into the night, then we will probably do the wrap up back in the States, and we'll just do a show about it.
Yeah, potentially it could be, because we have 20 matches. If things were to tighten up and get extended, we as many as 20 matches tomorrow, which would make for a
long,
really extended.
But it would make for an easy time sleeping on the plane on the way home on Thursday.
Yeah, you land at 3. I'm not sure how good that'll work out when you land and, hey, I just got up. All right, well, that's nice.
Well, I land and I have to go to. I'm doing a matchmaker on Friday.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I landed and I think we sold a house. So, yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have a place to live.
So anybody out there in the Dallas area, hey, if you've got space for 2 seniors and 2 dogs, give them a call.
I'm a senior. I should get this straight before. Stu can live in his own doghouse. I have no interest. All right. Well, until tomorrow night, that's it from day 2 of Weber Cup 2020 in Coventry, England, and the Ricoh Arena, which ironically is surrounded. It's a hotel surrounded around a football, which means soccer for our U.S. fans. And we're in the convention side of that. And so one more day left, up to 20 matches, score 16-9, race to 23. So
not got anything for you. We're 7 behind, and you need 7. So
it's gonna have to make a run. So there you go. From that, hey, once again, support small business, especially bowling, and our sponsors: Storm, Roto Grip, 900 Global.
Don't forget that one.
No, I wasn't. I was thinking of Vice, Dexter, Turbo, Coolwick, Bowler's Mart.
Yeah, and Master maybe.
And Master. And any sponsor you're interested in sponsoring the Beef and Barnzy show, we can talk about it. It's
we can put a logo about here.
With that, stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless.